Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This video is about how a human body it obtains the state of hadasi asghar, or small form of dirtiness or uncleanliness, and how Sharia has devised the way to obtain cleanliness from that state so as to be able to stand in front of Allah Almighty for offering namaz. As said in my previous video, that obtaining cleanliness, it is of immense importance, and it is a hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that there is no salah or no prayers without wuzu, without the cleanliness in the proper way it has been described in Sharia. So, how a human body obtain that small form of dirtiness or small form of uncleanliness? There are certain state of conditions. If the body goes through those states or those conditions or fulfill those conditions, then the body is said to have obtained the small form of dirtiness or uncleanliness. So there are many things that are included in that definition or in that description. It includes when a human body urinates, or when a human body, secrete feces, or one have loose motion. Then that secretion from the back part of the body, it leads to small form of dirtiness or small form of uncleanliness. And in it is included when a human body vomits with full mouth. Vomiting with full mouth, not the small, this much vomit coming into mouth, but vomiting with full mouth, that leads to obtaining the state of small form of uncleanliness or small dirtiness. And the other thing includes when a human body has some cut or bruise, and there it happens that blood flows, from that part, and when the blood is in static condition and it just appears, then the wuzu is okay. But if the blood, pours down from that part of body, then the body is said to have obtained the small form of uncleanliness. Similarly, the discharge or the going out of air, either with or without noise from the anus or from the back part of the body, that also leads to a small form of uncleanliness or small form of dirtiness. Now, embedded in this concept is the concept of sleep. For example, when every human being needs to and feel the want to have to fall asleep. So when one falls asleep, when his back muscles, they are in an involuntary form, and which includes sleeping with the help of a support. For example, if I'll fall asleep while taking support of this back side of this chair, and I fall asleep and then wake up, then I have obtained a small form of uncleanliness, because the muscles of my body, they are not they become involuntary without any control, to whether to have an understanding of whether or not the human body has discharged that air or not. So when one fall asleep while lying down or while taking support of something, or on either of the side, then that also leads to small form of uncleanliness or small form of dirtiness. But if one sleeps while his muscle, they are firm on the ground or on the form or anything, without taking the support of anything, so that the back muscles, they are in control while being fallen asleep, then in that form of being fallen asleep, that also do not lead to obtaining small form of dirtiness or small form of uncleanliness. So these are the body, conditions, going through certain conditions which are when qualified, then small form of dirtiness or hadasi asfar is described to have been obtained by the body. Now, that body wants to be cleaned in a way as Sharia has defined. In case of urination or feces or loose motion, the person has to clean up the body, the private body parts properly, so that there are, no signs of that dirt on the private part of the body or anywhere else. In the Quran, the people of Quba of those times, they were being prayed, they were being praised by Allah Almighty, that they are, people who keep, their cleanliness up to the mark, and who, depend to Allah Almighty. So ulama, and under those ayah, they have an interpretation that the people of Quba, those Muslims, they used to, dry the urination with the help of a dried piece of dust, and thereafter they also used to clean their private body parts with the help of water. So there, this dual process of cleaning the body after urination, it get praised in the holy book, and it becomes something more preferable. So urine, it is something that is to be taken care of, and as per hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if a Muslim does not take care during urination, and the droplets of urine, it fall on either body parts, on the clothes of the Muslim, then that Muslim is going to face azab in the grave. So if we want to save ourselves from azab in the grave, we have to be cautious during urination. So after having istinja, or after cleaning the body parts, the private body parts, then one has to start wuzu or ablution, that people might have also seen people doing, or on the videos. Uh, in that, first of all, you have to have an intention in the heart that I'm going to clean up myself so as to be able to stand before Allah Almighty for namaz. So first of all, after that niyyah, or after that intention, you have to say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and then washing the hands 3 times, you know, in between the fingers, washing the hand 3 times along with this wrist. So after that, washing the mouth 3 times, and if one is having miswak, he has to do that. If one is not having miswak, then he has to use the shahada finger so as to clean the mouth and teeth. So afterwards, 3 times, the Muslim has to clean the nose, and if there's any dirt in the nose, that is to be taken out. Then 3 times, the face has to be cleaned, and the face area, it starts right beneath these hairs of human body, and down towards this sound box, and width wise, it starts from here, this, and up to here, this ear part. So this whole part, it is needed to be washed 3 times. And if a Muslim is having beard, then a person with beard, he has to do 3 times like this, touching the water with the beard, and cleaning it, and then in the middle part, and then on the left part. So if one is not having beard naturally, or because he is young, or because he is not naturally not having hairs, or if one has trimmed the hair of the beard too much, that is not no longer a beard, so then he has to wash the whole of his face, and then comes 3 times this hand along with this part 3 times, and then this hand along with this part, and then one has to with wet hands, one has to make masa of head and other parts that are mustahab. In the Quran, 1/4 of the head, it is being described, but the proper way is to just have some water to clean the hands, and then do like this, the whole of the head, the hairs of the head, and then the ear, the outer, the inner large parts, and then around, and then inside the ears, the small finger, and then in the back part, these, and then like this. So this is how to do masa, in which faraz, wajib, sunnah, all these things come. And afterwards, a Muslim has to wash his feet. The feet has to be washed along with the ankles. Without the ankles, the feet are not washed under the Quran. And one has to also put fingers inside the fingers of feet, so that water, it reaches each and every portion of feet, so as to have a proper wuzu or a proper ablution. Then after 3 times, washing the right feet, one has to wash the left feet 3 times. And after doing that, the wuzu is done. After that, one can say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. With this, it is said in the hadith that the doors of paradise, they are opened for that Muslim to enter into. So, in this video, I discussed with you how the human body attains the state of hadath asghar, or small dirtiness or small uncleanliness, and how one has to, make it clean. And after obtaining that form of cleanliness, one can stand before Allah Almighty to offer salah.